It's official. Warriors fans, I hate to break it to you, but we just found out some devastating news that would have completely changed the outlook of the Golden State Warriors organization. What's going on, everybody? I'm Houston, but you're watching Warriors Digest. Once again, I am on the road, so we are not in the typical setup, but that will not stop us from bringing you guys videos. We got some news today about a former player from the Golden State Warriors organization that is, he's a superstar, been around the league. If you've seen the thumbnail, if you've seen the title, you probably already know who I'm talking about. Before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. Around 2/3 of you guys are not subscribed. Super simple. Go down below, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to turn on notifications to make sure you never miss out on a video. If you're a Twitter person or Instagram or Facebook or wherever you get your Golden State Warriors content and news, you probably saw yesterday that we are just a month away, exactly 31 days away from the opener of the Golden State Warriors season. And this is exciting for a number of reasons. Number one, we get Warriors basketball. We have NBA basketball back in the mix, which is obviously exciting because it means that we're going to see Jimmy Butler and Steph have a full season of playing together. The Jonathan Kuminga saga, the entire dramatic situation that has been over the last 2 months, is going to be getting resolved. And then, of course, that means that other dominoes are starting to fall. DeAnthony Melton, Seth Curry, Al Horford. Which of these guys is legitimately coming to the team? Which of them are falling by the wayside, will remain free agents, maybe be picked up by other organizations? And of course, you start to see news like this that puts a little bit of a different mindset in your head of, okay, here's where we're at now with the season just a month away. But if something like this would have gone down and happened, we would be in a very different situation. So what exactly am I talking about? Well, it came out a couple of days ago that Kevin Durant confirmed that he personally blocked a trade last season that would have sent him back to the Warriors with Steph Curry. And the reason that this is so vitally important for this upcoming season and for the channel and for all that type of stuff in general is for a couple of reasons. But number one, we make a lot of videos on this channel about, hey, this guy could be coming to the team. Hey, there's this massive trade that's going to be breaking down very, very soon. There's speculation about this. And a lot of times there's a lot of, okay, that's never going to happen. Okay, this and that. Now, the biggest example of that actually coming to fruition was Kevin Durant coming in 2017 to the Golden State Warriors. A very unfortunate 3-1 comeback from the Warriors in that Western Conference Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who, congratulations, if you're a Thunder fan watching on this channel for some reason, you just got your first championship. Congratulations, it's got to feel good. As a fan of a member of a nation, dub nation, you could say, of a team that's got many championships over the recent years, welcome to the club. We know what it feels like. It feels amazing, and I promise you, I'm hoping we can get back to that 2022 form very soon, hopefully this season. But as we're talking about, 2017, massive, groundbreaking trade that happened when Kevin Durant decided to join his rival, the Golden State Warriors, and come to the team. And this proved that a lot of different things, but most importantly, it proved that there is still a desire for top players to want to play with other stud athletes. Kevin Durant wanted the opportunity, even though he'd already played with Russell Westbrook, to go with the best point guard in the league, back-to-back MVP, unanimous MVP for Steph Curry. He said, okay, I want to be in the Bay Area. There's been a little bit of a conversation of, in recent years, does the Bay Area, does Oakland, does Golden State, does it not have quite the draw from a superstar status that it used to? Now, we made a video a couple of days ago that the front office is actually keeping the books clean for a couple of years with the opportunity to sign Giannis or Nikola Jokic. And of course, there's comments and all those types of things, which there's always going to be because it's speculation. There's always going to be that thing of, okay, this isn't going to happen. There's no chance this could happen. Well, guess what? We got legitimate confirmation that the offer was on the table. It was time for Kevin Durant to join the team. The only reason it didn't happen is because he personally declined it. Now, there are a lot of personal reasons for Kevin Durant as to why he didn't do this potentially. Number one, massive stain on Kevin Durant's career when he initially decided to leave the Oklahoma City Thunder and join the Golden State Warriors organization. Now, obviously, that stain sort of subsided and turned into 2 championships, 2 Finals MVPs, should have been 3, and another great legacy for Kevin Durant. Instead, the Nets thing happens. Then he's moved elsewhere, and of course, an upcoming season with the Rockets, which who knows exactly what that's going to look like. But you look at it from this perspective of, okay, we have proof, we have seen this in the past from Kevin Durant when he joined the team, and now knowing that there's offers on the table, that this brings up the possibility for other superstars to come to the Bay Area. Even with this Kawhi Leonard situation, as soon as the trade deadline. Kawhi Leonard maybe not in a position where he's even allowed to play for the Clippers anymore. All of a sudden, Oh, where's another team on the West Coast? Stick in that division. Who does he want to go to? Golden State Warriors become a potential landing spot for him. And now we've seen with this situation that, okay, there was a legitimate opportunity. It was put on the table. Bob Myers handed the whole previous Kevin Durant situation. Mike Dunleavy Jr. situation puts himself in a position to bring Kevin Durant to the team. Now, obviously KD faced so much scrutiny for that decision to, leave the OKC, the team and the organization that it felt like was an inch away from getting to that dominant era of a small market team. We've seen it with Milwaukee with the Bucks, and then obviously this last season with both teams, Indianapolis, whether or not you think that's a small market team or not, Indiana, and then of course OKC, two smaller market-ish teams in the NBA Finals, and that is what Oklahoma City initially wanted to make happen when they had that trio together of James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant, which when you look at that trio of players from that young, early age, you got to think to yourself, that might be the most upcoming talent roster of all time. 3 future MVPs, 3 future Hall of Famers. James Harden and Kevin Durant are probably 2 of the top 5 scorers in NBA history. Russ is probably top 20 on that list as well, from a different standpoint. But when we're talking about one-on-one, I need you to go get me a bucket type ball players. There's not many guys in NBA history that can do that better than Kevin Durant, probably undisputedly the best scorer of all time. And then of course James Harden in his peak was averaging 40, at one point putting up consistent 60-point performances. Is just absolutely ridiculous. But all of this gets you in a headspace to understand that, hey, Steph Curry is not going to be around for forever. Draymond Green, not going to be around for forever. So what exactly do you do? How can you find ways to utilize and prioritize the last couple of years of these guys' greatness? Well, you put offers on the table for guys like Kevin Durant. And it is devastating to see the news because initially, during that first trade window, when Kevin Durant decided to come, or not trade window, but free agency window, when he decided to join the team, there was a lot of people saying, okay, do we really want this? There was the narrative around super teams. Okay, does it feel like this championship is going to mean as much? And the reason that I liked it when it happened the first time, and I would have liked it again this time, is number one, I watch a lot of Warriors basketball. There is not many players in NBA history that are more fun to watch than Kevin Durant. You tie him alongside Steph Curry, it's pretty much the most entertaining thing in the history of sports when these two guys are on the basketball floor together, especially when they had Klay Thompson too. I mean, those were 3 of probably the top 10 3-point shooters in the history of the organization. Or not organization, but NBA. For sure, Steph and Klay probably 1 and 2, and then KD's probably, what do you want to say? Put him top 7, top 6, only a few guys that are above him as well. But it gives you the understanding that, hey, super teams don't always equal championships. We've seen this with Kevin Durant in particular. The Suns, when it was D-Book and KD over these last couple of years, then Bradley Beal as well. That's 3 former All-Stars, even sort of in their prime right now as well. And that didn't quite come to fruition. You saw it with a couple years ago with the whole Nets debacle, right? You saw with Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie Irving, and it felt like, okay, maybe these guys can put it together, and that didn't happen. And then you saw the initial Nets big 3 from all those years ago with Paul Pierce and KG and all those guys, and that didn't quite come to fruition. So just because you have a super team doesn't mean that it's guaranteed winning. That has never been the case, and that's why I look at those Warriors championships with Kevin Durant, and I say, these mean just as much as any other championship. Just because they've got good, talented players on the team doesn't mean that it's automatically going to equal winning. The culture, the leadership ability from Steph Curry, and the clutch factor of Kevin Durant, as well as a number of other reasons like Steve Kerr's coaching and things like that, were the reason that team was so successful. People forget that OKC and the Rockets and all those teams battled with the Warriors in those later years, and it became very important for those guys to have a full understanding of what that roster looked like. Yes, the front lines are good from Steph and KD and Klay and all those guys. And then obviously the ultimate years with DeMarcus Cousins as well. Those teams were dominant, even though it didn't result in a championship that year as well due to the Klay and KD injuries. But the main reason I'm bringing all this up is because we saw this report as well. Stephen Curry was voted the best American player in the NBA following a survey of 20 coaches, scouts, and execs who were polled for their thoughts. So Steph Curry, even though technically he's not, in his prime anymore, can still do ridiculous things on a basketball court that nobody else can do. But it brings up this narrative of, okay, what are the Warriors going to do in these final seasons with Steph Curry? Is Kuminga going to stay? Are they going to try and bring another person on from a superstar potential like Kevin Durant? Well, we've seen now that the front office is taking swings. They were fully ready to bring Kevin Durant to the team, and the only reason it didn't happen is because Kevin Durant said, no, I'm not doing that. Again, we've talked about the reasons why. He probably didn't want to have another part in his career where he's struggling, and he decided to go back to Golden State, the savior of him the first time, okay? And then also, this gives you the understanding that, okay, the Giannis thing, the Nikola Jokic thing, might not be completely out of the realm of a possibility, right? We talk about the difference between realism and hope. What is, the hope for how cool something could actually be compared to the realism and the, how realistic something like that could actually potentially happen. We saw this in the video the other day with Giannis and Jokic. There was legitimate possibility that the Warriors find a way to clean their books and have the opportunity to sign either of those guys when the time comes. And now we have proof that the organization is saying, hey, we got to find a way to capitalize on these last couple of years. Let's go big or go home. Yeah, Steph Curry's going to be 39, probably 40. That doesn't mean that he is completely out of this star-studded point guard, three-point shooter, deep potential that he has been for the last however many years. So this is exciting. It's a little frustrating that Kevin Durant thing didn't happen. And I know some of you might say, hey, we want to do it without KD. We didn't need him in 2022 when Andrew Wiggins and those other guys stepped up. But I do think it's exciting from the standpoint of we understand that Mike Dunleavy Jr. is obviously open to doing things like that. He's open to the idea of bringing other guys like that onto the team. And obviously that's an awareness that most GMs are going to have. They're going to want to bring other superstars onto the team. It's frustrating to know that Kevin Durant wasn't as open to it as you would have liked. It's frustrating to know we couldn't find a way to get it done, but it is exciting to understand that, hey, other superstars, there is still that window at the end of Steph and Dre's careers for other guys to come to the Golden State Warriors and make things happen. The Bay Area is still a massive destination. We could see Kawhi Leonard, we could see Giannis, we could see Jokic, we could see another one of these guys like Jimmy Butler, is proof of it last season, coming to the team because the Bay Area is still a destination that people want to be at. And overall, it gets me excited for the potential of what is going to happen and who are we going to see on this roster for the next couple of years to finish out Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and the other older guys on this team's careers. Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, Jonathan Kuminga, Seth Curry, all those situations, all those guys' potential to be on the team ultimately will be resolved in the next couple of weeks as we have, it's just, what is it now, 29, 30 days away from the opener, the tip-off for the NBA season, man. I cannot wait. It's going to be a fun one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've been Houston, but you've been the fan, and as always, go Dubs. We'll catch you in the next one.